Okay, I have no intentions of ever filming a video like this, obviously. We're doing this. I went back and forth about whether or not I should film this, but I decided I am just going to do it because when life gives you lemons, you make a YouTube video about it. The last Storytime video I did was with Callie, whenever we dealt with that Karen at the gym. If you guys haven't seen that video, we actually dealt with a real Karen, not the character Karen, like it was a real Karen. So if you missed that video, I will have it linked in the description box below. But today I'm going to be doing my own Storytime, and as you guys can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this story is about how my phone got stolen. And this is very fresh in my brain. I was going to wait to film this video for a little while just because I've been so busy. I've been going on a lot of trips recently, and so I've been just running errands all day. This literally happened 2 days ago, like less than 2 days ago. Since I'm spilling some tea, I actually just placed a DoorDash order for strawberry boba tea, and it's gonna be here in 5 minutes. So in the middle of the video, I might interrupt myself and go grab that because I love boba tea. It's like my favorite thing ever. But okay, anyways, I'm just gonna dive right into this. So this whole fiasco took place on Sunday, August 31st. Me and my two best friends, Allie and Haley, were getting home from a girls trip. We were in Atlanta, Georgia for a football game. You know, like it's so good to get away, but then it's also so good to get home as well. I was very excited to get home. Maybe a little too excited. Bear with me. So anyways, we finally land in Pittsburgh. The flight wasn't super long, but again, we were all just really tired and ready to get back to normal life. So we land at the Pittsburgh airport and we all go to the bathroom because I feel like that's just what you do when you land anywhere. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I hate peeing on the plane. It's just awkward. It gives the same energy as like if you are in the middle of class and you cough and then everyone watches you, or if like everyone is in the middle of taking a test and you get up and ask to go to the bathroom and you just feel like it's embarrassing and everyone's staring at you. Yeah, it's that same sort of energy. So anyway, yeah, we all go to the bathroom and you know, nothing out of the ordinary. All was well. But then me and my friend Allie called an Uber so we could get back home from the airport, and we got one within literally 2 minutes. This Uber driver got to us like that. Like, it was so fast. And I actually remember saying out loud to Allie, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going really smoothly, thank goodness, because just the whole morning was very chaotic and crazy, just in like small ways. So I specifically remember saying like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this almost seems too good to be true. So I was very happy. I thought things were going great until they weren't. So Allie and I are in the Uber. We're talking about our next trip we're going on because actually, as I'm filming this, we have a trip planned to go to the Mall of America in Minnesota literally in 2 days. So we were talking about that. And then all of a sudden, I sort of had this realization that it had been a while since I felt my phone vibrate or since I checked my notifications. So I start, looking for my phone. And I noticed that my purse seemed a bit lighter than normal. And so I kind of panic a little bit, but I'm like, oh my God, there's no way that I left my phone anywhere. I never do that. Literally, I never leave anything anywhere. Knock on wood. But yeah, I thought there's no way I left it anywywhere. So I looked through my purse, I looked through my backpack that I took with me to the airport. I knew it wasn't in my suitcase. And I'm just like digging. And my friend Allie is like telling me a story as this is happening. And I just kind of stop and I look at her with a very serious expression. And then she notices, so she goes, what's wrong? I said, I don't think I have my phone with me. Like, I left it somewhere. And she's like, wait, are you serious? So she goes to call me and, I didn't have it, so obviously it didn't ring. So then she checks my location. Thank God she has it. So she checks my location and she goes, yep, it's at the airport. So in this moment, I'm like panicking, but a part of me was also a little bit calm because I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a pain. I don't know how we're gonna get through security again to get upstairs where the phone is, but like, at least it's still in the airport. I wasn't too concerned yet. I was gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna call my mom, but then I realized I couldn't call my mom because I didn't have my phone. So I was telling my friend Allie, I'm like, could I use your phone to call my mom because I'm gonna have her come with me to go back to the airport, because like I couldn't have the Uber driver turn around. But the Uber driver had overheard our conversation, and he was like, hey, like I can turn around, we're only like 10 minutes away from the airport. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you sure? Like I feel so bad, I don't know how long it's gonna take to get the phone back. And he's like, oh yeah, like no worries, if it were me, I would want my Uber driver to turn around. I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like we just kept asking him like, what do we owe you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he said like, oh, you know, don't worry about it, give me a nice tip and we'll call it even. And so we were just like, thank you so much. So anyway, he turns around and we're on our way back to the airport. And I mean, I was kind of trying to be calm because I'm like, okay, like one way or another, we're going to be able to get back in. But again, it was just kind of tricky because you can't just go inside and waltz around the airport without like, you know, getting through security, going through the terminal. Like there's a lot of, airports are very confusing, okay? So anyway, we leave all our luggage with the Uber. He said he would wait for us, which was very kind of him. We run inside and I was trying to find someone that worked there to kind of ask like what the best approach would be to getting the phone back. So at first I approached this gentleman who, I mean, he was standing in the right spot. He was dressed up real nice. I assumed that he worked at the airport, but he didn't. And I'm standing there frantically explaining to him my whole story. And it makes sense now. The whole time I was telling him the story, he looked like he was going to interrupt me and say something. And it was because he was proceeding to tell me, hey, I'm sorry, I don't work here. And I was like, but literally I went up to him and I'm like,
so hey, my friend and I just got off our flight. We flew with Southwest Airlines and I was in the bathroom upstairs by Annie Ann's Pretzels and I left my phone in there. Like, how do we get there?
I told him my whole life story. And then he's like, yeah, I don't work here. And I'm like, I was so embarrassed. And my friend Allie was like, oh, well, you looked very important, so we thought you worked here. He did not. Yes, my bubble tea is gonna be here in 2 minutes. Anyway, resuming the story. So after that, we went to an actual self-help desk. We asked the woman at the desk like what we should do in this situation, and she told us to take the elevator to go upstairs and find our airline and speak with a representative from Southwest. So we were like, okay. We take the elevator, we get upstairs, we go to the Southwest section. And, you know, I'm very frantic. I'm getting a little more panicky because, you know, more time is going by and this is taking longer than I thought it would have. We get to the Southwest Airlines section. I go up to speak to one of the representatives, and as I'm telling my story of, you know, how my phone is upstairs and I forgot it, my friend Allie interrupts and she goes, Kayla, I'll do a reenactment. This was her. Kayla, I don't want to scare you, but your phone is moving. And I was like, my heart dropped to my butt. I started actually panicking. If you didn't catch on to what I was saying, again, my friend Allie has my location. And so she was tracking my phone. And so when she realized my phone was no longer in the airport and it was now, you know, on the road, guys, I am not kidding you, I literally got dizzy because nothing like this had ever happened to me before. And so anyway, the woman originally, she was going to give us this little pass to go through security, and then we would have had to take the terminal to, you know, get back upstairs to that specific bathroom. But obviously that wasn't necessary anymore. There's more to this story, but I just got a notification that my DoorDash order was complete. So I'm gonna pause this, I'm gonna get my strawberry bubble tea, and I'm gonna finish this story. So don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. And if you're still watching, comment an airplane emoji down below. Resuming, I have my strawberry bubble tea. I meant to order strawberry milk tea, but that's okay. It's actually extra refreshing this way. It has little fruit pieces. It's so good. The lore continues. We're gonna keep spilling the tea. My friend Allie breaks the news to me that my phone is no longer, in fact, at the airport. It is moving down the road, and we'll just say it was headed to a very unsafe area. And so I am trying to not have a panic attack at this point, because you don't realize how much you truly rely on your phone until it's gone. It's just like with anything, like this is a weird analogy, but it's almost like you don't realize how much you take breathing for granted until you have a stuffy nose. Or you don't realize how much weather can impact your mood until it gets dark outside early every day and it's snowing in the winter. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna get back on track here. So yeah, we realized that the phone is moving and we kind of just like asked this worker like, oh my God, what do we do? And obviously, like, this was out of her control. She was doing everything that she could do to help us while the phone was still in the airport, but this was beyond her control. We go downstairs and we go to this other self-help desk that they told us to go to, and we explained to them what was going on. They told us that it was time to get the police involved. So I was like, oh my God, like, they were gonna take a whole police report and check the cameras and all this stuff, and I was just like freaking out. I told my friend Allie, I'm like, I really want to use your phone to call my mom and to text my best friend Caitlin, because I just wanted to like let them know what was going on in case they were trying to contact me and couldn't. It was just the worst, most panicky feeling knowing that, like, you know, people could be trying to get a hold of you and then they can't. And I also didn't know what this person was going to do with my phone. Like, my brain was, of course, going to the worst of the worst case scenarios. After a few minutes, the officer came and basically he asked me for all my information, and he asked me to explain like what the phone looked like, which bathroom it was left in. So after he took my info, my friend Allie and I asked him, now what? After all this, now what? Like, what are the next steps? He basically told us to keep an eye on the iPhone's location, and if it stopped anywhere, then we had to call and let him know, and then they could send police officers out in that area. But technically, they couldn't really like go to anybody's door unless he could find camera footage of the person with my iPhone in their hands. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, whoever stole it definitely isn't going to be flashing it around leaving the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be sneaky about it. So I just felt very helpless and like I was never going to get my phone back ever. Side note, in case you couldn't tell, I did get it back. So keep watching if you want to know how that happened. Anyway, I felt very defeated. I was really trying to keep myself calm, because I did really just want to panic and lose my mind, but I kept reminding myself that at the end of the day, like, it is a phone, it is replaceable. Would it be a pain in the butt? Yes, absolutely. Would it be sad to like lose all my pictures and videos and just everything? Obviously, but it's just a thing. It wasn't like something bad happened to like a close friend or family member sort of thing. So I really just tried to have perspective in the situation, even though it was difficult. We are leaving the airport and our Uber driver was a saint. My friend Allie messaged him and let him know that like we were gonna be a minute. Like, this was not an easy peasy process, especially with the police report, but he still stayed and waited for us, which was so kind. And so we get back into the Uber and I called my mom. I texted my friend Caitlin from Allie's phone. I just like really needed those two specifically to know what was going on. So pretty much my mom informed my dad, and then my friend Caitlin was ready to go take matters into her own hands. I'm not exaggerating. She really was. She was cracking me up. She had all of these very grand ideas, which she actually would have 100% gone through with. We were just trying to give it a little bit of time first, because again, if my iPhone stopped moving around and the location remained the same and we had an actual address, like, then more could be done. But until that happened, no one could really do anything. It was just a waiting game. So anyways, after about 20 minutes, my friend Allie tracked my location on the phone yet again, and we were very happy because we realized that it stopped moving around and it was stuck at this one address. Well, actually, it was kind of hard to tell. It was like one of two addresses, but we absolutely knew the general area. Once we saw that it was done moving around, we called that police officer back to let him know, like, hey, if you want to go investigate this, go for it, because it's at, you know, either this address or this address. We knew the general area. So he told us that he would let us know if he had any updates. Then Allie and I called my mom and we let her know that, you know, we had an address. And so my mom shared that information with my dad, who is a former police officer. My dad was able to find the name and phone number of the individual who we suspected stole my iPhone. So he gave her a call. Crazy enough, she answered. The woman that stole my iPhone answered. And supposedly, you guys can let me know your thoughts down below, the woman told my dad that she was at her son's sporting events and that she tried to turn the iPhone in at the airport, but they said they didn't accept iPhones, which I don't think is true at all. There's literally a lost and found section at the airport. Also, everyone at the airport was like really trying to help me out, like, and they even said, you know, anytime anything is like lost, like there is a literal section, like all the workers are very aware of it, so no one was buying the story. But we knew it was a very good sign that she answered. But yeah, so she was saying that she tried to return it at the airport, but they wouldn't accept it, so she was going to eventually turn it in to somewhere, I assume the police station. I don't know, she didn't really specify. So whether or not that's true, no one will ever know. I don't think it's true at all. But basically, my dad, you know, kind of pretended to believe her, because he knew that like if he went along with it and didn't make her feel like, oh no, I'm in trouble, then she may give the phone back. Does that make sense? Like if he would have been like, no, like we could press charges against you, blah 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 blah, she could have thrown the phone in the river and just been scared, and she could have just hung up, and that would be that. So he played along, he played the game. They agreed to meet so that my dad could get the phone back for me. We were all very, very scared about my dad meeting this stranger because we didn't know the intentions. Obviously, upon hearing this, I started to become more optimistic that I might get it back, because I did not think that was going to happen. But so yeah, my friend Allie was with me this whole entire time. At this point, we were just like at my house waiting for more information. We were sitting by my pool and just like praying and hoping that, you know, everything would be okay. So we're waiting, and then my mom texts Allie's phone a photo, the best photo I've ever seen in my life. It was a photo of my dad holding my phone. He got my phone back for me, and I was jumping up and down. Allie and I were literally celebrating. I was so happy. And so it is, as you can see, it is right here. I couldn't even express my gratefulness and relief. Like all of a sudden, like everything in the world was just like fine. Like any little thing that I was stressing over before did not matter. I was so thankful. So my dad came to my house and brought me my phone. I don't want to share like too many details, but essentially he just sort of said what he had to say to pacify this woman so he could get the phone back. You know, he didn't want to be like too accusatory or anything like that. He did it safely, but I hugged him like 5 times, and then I also kissed my phone. I know that's really gross, but I was just so relieved, because I mean, I feel like what happened with me getting it back is very rare. Usually I feel like if someone steals a phone, they're going to, you know, immediately shut off the location, immediately, I don't know, do something with it so it's not trackable. Like, I got very, very lucky, and we, you know, did all this stuff right in the nick of time. The story had a happy ending. It was very, very, very intensely stressful, but again, I'm just so thankful that it's back now, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a story time about this, because why not? I personally love watching other people's storytime videos, so hopefully you guys like listening to this. And also, I'm genuinely curious, have you guys ever gotten anything stolen before? Like a phone, a purse, backpack, something that you had at school? I really want to know. So if you guys have any similar stories, make sure you let me know what your story is in the comments below. I really am curious. And also, yeah, let me know what was stolen and if you got it back or not. And if you did get it back, how did you get it back? Did the police get involved? Did you go yourself to get it back? I don't recommend that, by the way. My dad knew what he was doing and he was very safe about it. So if that ever happens to you, don't go chasing the person down. My friend Caitlin was fully prepared to go to that house and get it back for me. I'm like, girl, you could have died. I love her so much. And then she was telling me, she's like, okay, I know her address, so now we need to send something crazy to her. Like, you can legally send people animal poop, because she was so upset that that happened to me. And I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. And she's like, no, I'm gonna do it. Everyone needs a Caitlin in their life, and an Allie. Allie was so helpful. I was just so thankful for everyone that was like helping me. And I saw this on Instagram today. It was a post that said sometimes you need to have bad days to see who's really there for you. So yeah, everybody that was in my story was very helpful. So shout out to all of them. I have the most amazing family and friends ever. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the entirety of the story. If you take anything from this video, just be very, 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 very mindful about leaving your phone or purse or anything really in the bathroom or anywhere for that matter. Because yeah, getting something stolen is the actual worst feeling. I got very lucky, very, very fortunate. But yeah, guys, let me know if you have any similar stories in the comments below. I'm going to get going now and drink some more of my strawberry bubble tea. But if you guys like this video and you'd like me to do more story times in the future, then make sure you give this video a big giant thumbs up. And yeah, I love you guys and I will talk to you soon. Bye! Mwah!